Good blessed Saturday afternoon, September the 27th, 2025. It's about 12:14 p.m. or in the afternoon. I greet all human beings all around the world. All around the world. All around the world. All around the world. All around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. Doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you the proclaim toughest to the proclaim weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't matter whether you like me or anything that I say, do, nor produce. That's your prerogative. You have a First Amendment to the United States Constitution. A freedom of the press, a freedom of speech, a freedom to protest, a freedom to gather, a freedom to associate, long as you do it all in a peaceful and non-violent manner. If you're on probation or parole, you want to check with your probation or your parole officer to see if it's okay and you're not violating your probation or parole doing any of the above mentioned. The same if you're a felon. Check with your local law enforcement officials to make sure you are not violating any local laws. Today happened to be September the 27th, 2025. On this day, well, not on this, on this day, back in 1975, my oldest son, BRYAN LAMAR Johns, was born. He was born September the 27th, 1975. Today would have been his 50th birthday. I traveled about 60 miles one way from Charleston, Missouri to Carbondale, Illinois, where my son was found hung right in front of this building that I'm standing in front of now. It's 400 North Oakland Street here in Carbondale, Illinois. I come to honor his heavenly birthday, but his 50th birthday, and I'm making this YouTube alone because I came alone. This is a shirt that I got on. I tried to get some people across the street to video it for me, but no response. But I can do it by myself. But I'm here not just celebrating my son's 50th birthday, but also to still seek justice for my son being lynched, hung in this same building. I'm gonna do show you a video of the poster that my neighbor made for me a few years back, honoring my son. This is something my neighbor in Charleston, Missouri, airbrush man, Derek Davis. He made this for my son. It say, "Justice for BRYAN LAMAR Johns. Rest in peace." He was born September the 27th, 1975. He was found hung in this building on the 3rd floor on March the 19th, 2021. He have other brothers and sisters. My two youngest daughters, 19 and 20, they normally come down, but a 20-year-old, she's pregnant, and the other one, she worked today, but they normally come down all the time. Me and my two youngest daughters, the only ones of his siblings that comes here in remembrance of this. But I guess Chicago is too far to drive for some people, but I drives up to Chicago, which is a 6-hour ride for their balloon releases to go to the cemetery with him down here in Carbondale, Illinois, from Chicago, Illinois. It's about a 4.5, maybe a 5-hour ride, but I guess that's too long for some people, but it don't make no difference. I'm not mad at none of y'all, because it's my son. But anyway, this is where he was found hung. And what I'm going to do is go upstairs. Let me put on my mask right quick. I'm going to go upstairs and show y'all where they want me to believe that my son was high off of methamphetamine, high off on some depressants, downer pills. And his injuries, his ribs, some of his ribs was fractured. On the back of his left hand, it was a gash in his left, in the middle of the back of his left hand, going all the way down to his tendons. And they only found a couple of drops of blood. But we going up here. This is the building he was found hung in. He supposedly took a fire extinguisher from the other building that I'm going to show you in a minute, where his t-shirts was found around the corner. But he did all of this here while he injured to come up here to hang himself. That's what they say. Let's take a good look at this. Some people that was Indians that lived here claim they came out to go get their mail downstairs, and they seen his feet hanging from here. He was found hung on this thing here. Now, tell me how somebody intoxicated on all these drugs, an injury to his hand, but the injured hand, the injured left hand, when he was found hung, it was clenched like this. The right arm was in here like this. You see where my arm is at? In here like this. How could you hang yourself? Rigor mortis come in. Once your heart stop beating, everything gonna drop down. I know he didn't hang himself. It was in the midst of winter. And it was a bunch of stuff up here. They didn't never take none of that down to the evidence room. They took a fire extinguisher that was standing straight up. It was plants over here, and I got a video of it where it was all, a couple of plants was knocked over. It was a bicycle right there. But I know he didn't hang himself. When he was hanging on there, he was hung by a belt that was about 40-some inches long. 16 of those inches went around his neck. I made a video. It was tied up on this. His head was about right there. He had on a pair of pants, and some sweatpants up under him, and his right pocket was pulled out. He had $2 balled up in his one hand that was up in the bars like this. How's you gonna hang yourself once you stop breathing, your heart stop beating? What's your body gonna do? How did it stay up like that? Because somebody killed him somewhere else, brought him up here, hung him up there, because rigor mortis, when it stuck in, you're stiff. You ain't gonna get stiff when you're hanging and then just drop on without your arm dropping down. But I just came out here, you know what? I'm going on almost 70 years old. I travel back and forth to Chicago with no help of nobody but my two youngest daughters. But I'm gonna go over here now and get my balloons. I got 7 of them. I was thinking that somebody would show up, but there's no love lost. This corner right here is Sycamore, 400 block of Sycamore, and the other one, this one I just came out of, is the 400 block of Oakland. Now this is a closed armory. You would think that they had cameras in here, but they so coincidental, no cameras nowhere. No cameras nowhere. Now, he was hung up in there, but his T-shirts was found around this corner where I'm going right now. Ain't this something? His T-shirts was found here. A white female that was living straight up here seen me videoing. She had his T-shirts. This is 400 West Sycamore. Let's see if it's open. Now this fire extinguisher was missing from here, and supposedly he took it around there with him to hang himself. It was spots like this on the rug, but they didn't take no DNA to see if his blood was Now, she said he brought his T-shirts all the way up here now. She was living in there. She said the T-shirts was laying there. She looked at them and took them in her house. And the police never went to in her house to check to see if any blood. I found out of all these people living in this building, her and another female was put in here by a women's program because they was on drugs. My son was using drugs too. So what did that tell you? She so happened to take pictures of my son's T-shirts before the police found his body around this corner. It's rough when you're doing it by yourself. You see what I'm saying? But I pray if something ever happened to me, my two young daughters be there for me. They've been there for, my two young daughters have been there for me all the time. But let me go get the balloons and then get ready to leave. It's kind of difficult releasing the balloons when you're by yourself. But I got 7 of them, and I'm gonna release one for my daughter, Queen Ramona Nicole Ivy. I'm gonna release one for her son to be my grandson. Release one for my daughter, Birdie Mae Ivy II. One for my niece, Sharika Fizel, and her entire family, and my niece, Jeanette Ivy and her whole family, and for me. Happy birthday, Brian. Happy birthday. May your justice be done. May justice be done. Me and Birdie and Queen haven't forgot about you. When you're trying to get justice, you see how they're splitting up? When you're trying to get justice, you don't just post up pictures and say, I miss such and such. You do something about it. I've been doing something about it for the past 4 years. Coming down here to Carbondale, me and my 2 youngest daughters, speaking at the Carbondale City Council meetings. How you doing? That's for my son now. He was found hung in this building. I'm gonna tell you the story in a minute. He made 50 today. He was found. How long you been living here?
2 years.
2 years. You probably ain't heard of this.
I
want to show you how God worked a female, small world female that live here now, and from Cairo, Illinois, which is about 15 miles away from Charleston, happened to be walking a K9. Show your K9. Show them.
That's Zena.
Your K9 gonna go worldwide. But I was telling about my son. I was releasing the balloons, and I didn't have nobody to actually get me in my total self, you know. And I asked her would she mind doing it, and she said she didn't mind doing it. And this will be another person that I can give my YouTube channel in case she hears something, you know, she can let me know, because I'm going to continue to seek justice for my son until my dying day. And I appreciate you again. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna ask you your name because I don't want you to go worldwide. You see what I'm saying? I don't want some guy saying, what you doing videoing for that man for? But I just want to say this here, and I want you to say it too. Peace be still and justice for BRYAN, Lamont John.
Justice for BRYAN. Peace be still.
All right, I appreciate it.
All the time.
You stop. I'm on my way back to Charleston, Missouri. I want to thank everybody that's been praying all these years for my son and me and my daughters down here as we been battling for justice. I know everybody can't be in certain places, just like I can't be everywhere at one time, but I do spread myself to be at certain events when I can. But I would feel after 4 years, going on 5 years, everybody that's close, especially the individuals that say he is friends, the only time I seen any people that claim to be his friends was at his funeral, and I ain't seen them since. As a matter of fact, when I went up to Chicago one time, I seen a handful of them at the balloon release, but I ain't seen none contribute nothing as far as trying to get justice. But them his friends. That's why my circle is small. You see what I'm saying? I teach my daughters, don't trust no one. Everybody is a suspect. Peace be still.